All right. Super impromptu. Super not detailed. Super free, super flowing, super organic Larry June voice. My name is Scott Hewitt. I got the one, the only, the wizard, the incredible, the magnificent, the talented, the intelligent, the mature.
Yes. Oh, he's hitting on all the notes right now.
Come on, what? The one and only Remember Buddha.
Yo.
We spinning the block.
We definitely spinning the block right now.
Like,
that's what we do.
What, this is down number 3?
Yes, sir.
I think.
Yeah.
There's only one out there for the public, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's just hidden tapes content.
Man, what? It'll come out one day, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out.
It'll come out in the Netflix documentary.
What's about to come out is something we got to talk about for sure.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to give the title out?
Yeah. Let's. I'll spoil a little bit. I think it's time. I'm releasing I guess you could call it an EP album, called New Gardens. I haven't dropped anything really in like a year, like anything like rap wise. I dropped a beat tape, but like outside of that, it's been a while. So like, yeah, it's time to pull out the big ones.
Shaking the dust off.
Yeah.
For sure.
Give the people some vibes, man.
So, New Gardens, right? I've been noticing in the process of the quote unquote rollout. I don't know if this is the official like rollout, but
yeah.
You've and even with the title, you are very big on flowers.
Yes.
And I think even a little bit before that, I remember the Serendipity tape had a flower.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just been this constant theme of Buddha and flowers. What's that about?
Man, I'm big on like circle of life type shit. Live like birth, grow, die, rebirth, grow, die, rebirth, grow. Like that's something I don't know. It just kind of resonates with me, and I feel like that's a metaphorical thing I pull from flowers. Is like you sow the seeds grow, you nurture the seeds. It's a metaphor for life too, which and music is life. So like I don't know, that's where I coincide those things. Is like, like especially this project specifically, like it feels like a rebirth to me, like a rebirth of my music and like almost like a reintroduction to my shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's definitely the whole process of growth, death, rebirth, and so on and so forth. We have so many chapters in our lives. We live a lot of lives in one life kind of thing. But yeah, I ain't trying to get too deep on the people.
No, go as deep as you want to, bro. I'm just here to guide the questions.
Yeah.
I'm not really here to talk. I'm here to pick your brain.
Let's go. Yeah.
So let's pick your brain about the sessions at Shock City.
Yes. What
made you go and, have that process done? Like, you're the wizard.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. So the way this is why I loved this process a little more than it was like refreshing because I was kind of getting like, I got to that like beating a dead horse redundancy of my mixes. And I always thought I had good mixes and they're always like creative and like take things somewhere that you wouldn't expect, but it's still tasteful. And with this project, I did bits and pieces of the sound design. Like I still mixed a little bit of the project, but just to get some help on like filling out like those, like, I don't know, having things like EQ'd a little better, and bringing out the sounds that need to be out, and instead of like having stuff buried, which I'm crazy with effects. I love just drowning it in a just digital waterfall of fucking effects. And actually, the way I came about Shock City is my boy Brent. Shout out Brent. He's also on the album and has an incredible verse. He was going to Shock City and getting a lot of his shit mixed there, and I felt like I just needed something new. I was on some rebirth shit. Like I moved out of my house. I had to move back into my parents' crib. It felt like I was living a new life. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to change up my process. Like, and my parents were cool with me. I still mix at the house and shit. I still have my in-house studio there, but some don't feel right creatively. Mm-hmm. And going to Shock City, like Louis, shout out Bad Taste too. That's my boy, stinking ass. But but him and Brent pretty much convinced me to like go to Shock City, and then I was just testing my waters. I was like, let's see how it goes. I'm like Mr. Frugal all the time usually, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta put down some bread. Mm-hmm. But I used to have to do that shit before I started mixing my shit, so I was like, whatever, gotta get used to this shit. This new me, new stuff. Let's do this and commit to it. And yeah, I went to Shock City. I did like half of the mixes, the sound design, bounced out all the track outs, and brought them to my engineer, Sam Mall, who is fucking incredible for the record. He does like anything you're hearing that's really banging out here in St. Louis, he probably had his hand on it. But he just kind of like took what I had with my mixes and then brought the best parts out of them and tucked the worst parts away. Mm-hmm. And with the sessions too, like, I wanted it to feel like a moment for everyone involved. Like, yeah, we created the music. Like, we recorded our song mm-hmm. at my house, at my old house. And we mixed it a little bit and it was like kind of there, but like I wanted to take it to a new level. So we went to Shock City with it. And anyway, I wanted all these sessions to feel like everyone who was featured got to be there and watch their song come to life in the studio session too. And especially without us having to mix it, kind of led us to, it definitely let me the whole time I went to Shock City. I didn't listen as a critic. Mm-hmm. I listened like as a listener and was just kind of like letting things happen instead of when I'm mixing, I'm hard as fuck on my shit. I'm like, oh, that sounds harsh. I gotta pull that. I gotta put a de-esser on this. I gotta, all types of shit. Which I still will always mix my stuff, but I'm gonna more than likely send the remaining bits to Sam mm-hmm. To get done. But yeah, the Shock City sessions felt special too. Like, we had the gang in there. It was our session was probably, in my opinion, it was like the most fun because we had the full group in there, and we were all vibing and cracking jokes and mm-hmm. having drinks and crazy bowls and raps and.
Shit still got me in a chokehold.
Oh God,
that shit is good. But.
I feel that, but yeah, the Shock City sessions were special, man. I think it was like part of the rebirth and kind of just felt good. I don't know. I haven't felt that good mixing or making music in a long time. Like when I say a long time, I mean like almost like 2 years, 3 years, which I don't know. Like I'm not saying I didn't have fun making music at all, but like that peak level of fun, like it felt like I was like, oh cool, it felt like something was culminating in a way, like something special was really happening. Mm-hmm. And it was. I think the album's fucking incredible, but that's just my own fucking bias on that shit. But
talk your shit.
But yeah. Yeah, man. Them sessions were special, and I'm gonna continue to keep doing it that way at least until I gotta change up the flow again.
Mm-hmm. So, what made you wanna just keep this project at 8 songs? Were there more that didn't make the cut, or was it planned originally to just be like under 10?
So the way I had like probably 35 tracks I had, all demo cuts, and some of the demos that turned into what New Gardens is. We had all like all these 35 songs, right? And I played them for like, it was like me, Brent, Louis, Nate, Andy, and I think that was it. we were at Louie's house, and like we were having a collective meeting that night, and then I just played a bunch of these records, and I was like, I played the ones that I thought fit well next to each other too. I was like, this is an ideal for a project, this is an ideal for a project, and this is an ideal for singles. And like I played through all the records, and then like everyone kind of helped me pick out, because I have a very great mind when it comes to picking music, but I need other people to really help me navigate that too. And they did. I mean, really, Brent kind of came up with the track list, because we listened to all 35 of the songs, and they were all great songs, but the difference was we wanted something cohesive and something that was fluid and felt natural when they're playing next to each other. So those were the 7 of the songs, 7 of the 8 were already demos. The last one, which is like an outro, I made that shit just on a whim after like we kind of had it all organized. I was like, dude, there needs closure on this album. Like there needs something to close it out, but also, lead it up to like something's coming next, which the outro, I don't want to give any tidbits until you listen to it, but like it gives a little teaser of like, oh, there's more to come for this Remember Buddha guy. Like, and I want to see where he goes next. But yeah, that's kind of how it works.
You put a, what am I trying to say? You put a post-credit scene in there.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I was trying to go Stan Lee with it, bro. I love Marvel, so that's low key. I mean,
bars.
Straight up though, straight up. That formula though, like the formula that that Stan Lee, obvious, and Kevin Feige for like the whole MCU and what they do, like they have a formula that is genius and works, and they make things feel cinematic. And like, I'm not just a music fan. Like, I draw from that shit, and seeing like films. I mean, literally everything too. I mean, I get inspired from the Quentin Tarantino shit to the fucking MCU stuff to, I mean, you fucking name it. But yeah, I don't know, that outro felt like a Stan Lee moment. Like, oh, all right. Here's this cameo at the end of the movie.
So, as we're talking about inspiration and pulling from different areas of life, right? Something very recent that happened is you popped the question.
That I did.
Let's drop the applause. No, I'm saying that, first of all, that's fucking dope. But secondly,
yes, right on, bro.
I want to ask you, like, has your lady put in any, like, creative input? Or, like, what has your quote-unquote new relationship done for you in the process of creating this?
I think, like, specifically with this, I mean, the way I always play my music for my fiance now, that's wild. She got promoted from girlfriend to fiance real quick.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird the way it works with, like, whenever I'm playing music for her. I don't ever want her to hear my unfinished shit, which is weird. Like, I'm like, you gotta hear it when it's done.
Felt that.
Cause I'll play her rough stuff and she'll still be like, oh, that sounds great. Put it out. I'm like, that's not even done. And then she'll get mad when I say that. Cause she's like, it sounds good to me. I'm like, trust me, I love you to death. And she has great music taste. She really does. Like, she put me onto a bunch of bands that I listen to now and shit, and even just a bunch of singers. She's got great taste. But yeah, I don't know. I always run stuff by her. Always run stuff by her, like the rollout plans, because she knows her shit. She's creative, and I wouldn't be proposing to someone who wasn't creative. Right. Like, I have to have that in my bag for us to communicate. That's just how it's going to have to work. But, yeah, I mean, she's definitely put in some input on ideas. Like, oh, you should do a harmony here. You should try that. You should do this. And then I'm like surprised. I'm like, oh, damn.
Right.
It's a good idea. Like,
producer credits for the wifey.
Yeah, straight up. She going to get some writing credits.
Thanks.
But yeah, she puts in her 2 cents. But typically when it comes to the creating and the writing and stuff, I mean, she'll sit in on a session every now and then, but usually I like to kind of keep my peace by myself. Not that she doesn't bring me peace.
I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean.
Clean it up.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Cover it up.
Not even a cover, man. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, but I got to be on an island sometimes. That way I can see the world better.
That's a perfect way to say it.
Yeah. But yeah.
I get that. So, let's not talk about our track. We'll save that.
All right, we'll save that
for another genre. I can't, now that I'm not looking at it, bro. Daisies?
Oh my God.
And Untitled.
Yes. Yeah,
those
what
were you thinking when you made those?
Man, actually, I think Daisies was the first song that I made for this project. But it wasn't originally for this project. I was just making records. And, yeah, I actually, if I'm correct, and I have an awful memory here, but I think I had mushroom tea when I put that beat together. So I was just like a little loopy and like feeling myself, and that one's just real ethereal and like aura grabbing, and like, yeah, I fucking love that one. That one grows on me so much. That kind of slowly is creeping to be my favorite on the album. But yeah, that, and then Untitled, I kind of like the inspiration I drew for each track, I guess I'll say. Like, Daisies is kind of like, what do I say in there? It's like free falling from the class to the basement, heart pacing, heartbeat, how fast we chasing. It's like life's fast, I don't know how to, yeah, it's like kind of a song that's like about being impatient in a way, but trying to find the patience. And life feels short, you know? And that's why you do shit fast.
That's felt all of that.
You know? It's like a song about like, all right, I gotta do shit quick because I don't know when I'm gonna die. I could die tomorrow for all I fucking know. So I gotta do as much as I can in this little amount of time, and it's stressful, and it puts a weight on my shoulders and all this shit. That's kind of what Daisies is about. And then Untitled, it's literally just about like date, and I might change the title of that one because I'm figuring out what it'll be called, but it's kind of like about daydreaming, like literally just when you're sitting and you doze off and you realize you're like, oh, and like, but all the things that you want, like and almost having this weird realization while you're seeing all these things you want that some of the shit you might not get. You know, like it's kind of got a little bit of tension in that song, but it's a beautiful record. I mean, it's another one of my favorites. They all just make you feel something. There's something aura grabbing about those two specifically. So I'm happy you brought those two up.
Yeah, most definitely. So you have Slow, Spread Love.
Yep.
You have Brent.
Yep.
You have me. You have. Damn.
No, that's
it.
I think that's it.
That's it.
I'm trying to think because Walk Away got Slow. Puddles got You. Brenda's on Atlas. Your World is just me. Epitome is just me. Untitled is just me. Daisies is just me. And Outro is just me. Is that 8 songs?
That's 8.
That's 8. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm fried.
Yeah. What I notice sometimes is you kind of pick a lot of features when you have a project.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily say a lot, but let's just say like a number.
Yeah, right.
Like, meaning about half, maybe a little more than half. You kind of slow down on that. And
yeah,
you really just kind of put yourself on the forefront. I'm not going to say what made you do that.
Right.
But what made you do that?
I mean, I think... You know who always told me this shit too is Louis. Bad Taste. He was like, I love, and he loves when I do features because that's always my favorite shit. I love collabing with people. It's so much fun and natural when you bring out the best in each other, kind of thing. But with this project, like Louis was always telling me, he's like, I love your features, but I want to see more just you. Like I want to see you just doing your thing. Like so that way you can show people that this is who I am a little more without having the focus be detracted by someone else in another way or something. But I don't know. I kind of like looked at it too as like, I need this album and this piece of my art to be aesthetically fitting with everything. And I think if I would have like put more people on there, it probably wouldn't have fit. Like this is almost it's like a reintroduction to my shit in a way. Like the reason it's called New Gardens is because like all the music I ever made before, my whole discography is all super widespread versatility as far as like genres go. Like literally everything from R&B to fucking trap to like boom bap to fucking like house music, like all these different influences. But all the stuff I did before, it was unorganized. It was like a fucking garden with an apple tree growing out the fucking middle, and then you got roses under the apple tree, and everything just fucking looks weird. It doesn't make sense. And I felt like this album was me organizing and making sense of it. That's why I called it New Gardens. It's like you walk into these new gardens on this different planet, and it's like everything's organized the way you want to see the gardens. It's tulips all in one area, but it's only in that area, and then it's roses in one area, and everything makes sense. You're there, and everything's where it's supposed to be. So that's kind of like the metaphor for that album, is like things being in their rightful place. And yeah, God, I went on a tangent there. What was
we here for?
What was the original question there? Oh shit!
I think you answered it.
Did I answer it? Good.
What made you? The original question was, what made you pull back on the amount of features?
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah,
but I mean that makes sense.
That does, yeah.
And for the people who are listening, if you didn't catch it, just rewind it. It ain't all that deep, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not deep, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm hip, bro.
I mean?
Yeah. You gotta take it at the face value.
Right.
Yeah.
You kind of already answered my question about your favorites on the project. But now I'm going to do it.
Do it.
Check it out. 3 songs on the project you get to keep. The rest of them are gone. What are they?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like how you asked that. 3 songs I have to, for sure. Daisies is one. I got to keep Daisies. Oh man, that's difficult though. I love our song. I'd probably say Daisies, Puddle, and maybe Atlas. Either Atlas or Untitled. Oh, but I fucking love Your World too. God, it's fucking hard to pick one on this one.
Right?
Because like all the songs have like, I don't know, they carry.
All the songs were delicately picked.
Yeah.
I could tell that from the first time I listened to it in my headphones, and then when I was riding with it on the way to work the following day, it just made even more sense.
Right.
Because it felt like I was getting a more complete listen. It wasn't just, I got 2 little cuffs of sound.
Right, yeah, you got the wide.
It got the wide
felt
range.
Like the Dolby Atmos shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all it was with that question. So,
hell yeah.
Where we at on time? Doing pretty good, but can you tell me when this is coming?
I'm gonna give a rough, like March, late March. I still got to finish some more stuff for the rollout. I got a lot I want to give with this. Because I feel like this is I always feel like my projects are special. If you don't feel that way, then don't put it out. And I feel very confident and proud of this one. And I want to get the rollout 100% the way I want it. No holes, no leaks in it. And, I want to just make sure I get the branding proper, my aesthetic proper, everything fucking going together. I need everything to just make sense. But yeah, I'll say late March, but that is subject to change.
Right. Big disclaimer.
Yes.
Most definitely.
Putting that on there.
It's on camera and it's documented everywhere. You just want to make sure everybody know. think my last question for you, and be sure to deep dive on this.
All right.
This is a new but old question because we're in a new year.
Yeah.
What do you want to leave the world with this project?
Ooh, all right. That there's more. There's more coming. And, like, not just in a sense of my music. Like, literally, like, the album is supposed to be a reflection of, like, how I see the world. But you can look at the album and take that in your respects, too. Treat the album as your POV as well, not just mine. Mm-hmm. Like, and in that sense, I'm not going to try and give away too much, but, like, the album does leave with an ending kind of saying, like, oh, he's off to do something else. Like, he's going to, it's going to continue into something. And I want, you know, like I said, I'm big inspired by, like, the MCU and stuff. I've always been a diehard X-Men nerd since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'll be grateful when they bring them into the MCU. That'll be fucking sick.
I know, right?
But anyway, the way Kevin Feige did it with, like, 24 fucking films leading up to, like, even just the Infinity War and Endgame films, which were incredible. And I want to do the same thing with this project almost. Like, this is the rebirth of a real cinematic, like, something special.
Of the RBU.
Yes. Yeah. It's like...
Hey, that's kind of hard. You got that on tape, right? The RBU, man, yeah. That's hard.
But I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's because I've just been playing Pokemon lately too, but like this album, as great as it is, this is my Charmander, and there's room for evolution. So like, that's, you know, that's, and I, hint, I don't want to Kanye this shit up too much and say I'm going to do something and not do it, but hint, this might be the start of a trilogy. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Hint. Subject to change, bitches.
Subject to change, though. Hey, man, I'm really excited. This probably now hear me, right?
Yeah.
When I download an album on my offline access, that means I really fuck with it. Like if I'm stranded out in the middle of nowhere or I'm traveling on a plane,
that you can play.
That means this is essential.
Yes.
This shit right here is essential, and so. This probably gonna be an airplane mode album. I want everybody to know that Scotty said it first.
Listen to this man. Y'all hear that shit?
I'm telling you, I'm really excited. New Garden's coming. There's no set in stone date. Remember, Buddha Fine Culture Collective. Nate, thank you for being behind the camera. Buddha, thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity for letting me sit down and be part of this shit. And
hell yeah, man! Thank you. Thank you for having
done it
me,
again,
bro.
Man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Shit, just being able to, I've only sent this album to a select few, and you are definitely an ear I respect. Yeah. So I had to send it your way, and you know I always love talking some shit and sharing it with the people.
Yes,
so we had to do this
until we spin the block again.
Yeah.
We signing off.
Yes, sir.